Hello everyone, I am Miss Divya Verma, teacher of Social Science Class 7, Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi.
So today we are going to talk about lesson number 4 of history, that is the Mughal Empire. Students, you must have seen lesson number 3, that is the Delhi Sultans, lesson number 3. So today we are going to talk about after the Delhi Sultans who came. So this was the Mughal Empire. Who now this started when the last Delhi Sultan Ibrahim Lodi ended up. Okay. Now, if we talk about the Mughals descendants, so here if we see there were two great lineages of their descendants from their mother's side and from their father's side. From their mother's side, there was descendant of Genghis Khan who died in 1227, and that was the Mongol ruler who ruled over the part of China and Central Asia. Got it? And if we talk about of the father's side, so from the father's side they were the successor of Timur that died in 1404. So student, सो अगर हम जंगीज़ खान की बात करें तो जंगीज़ खान मंगोलिया की रूलर हुआ करती थी. अब वहाँ पर मुगल्स जो थे, मुगल्स को मंगोल्स कहलाना पसंद नहीं आता था. क्यों नहीं पसंद आता था? बिकॉज जंगीज़ खान्स मेमोरी वॉज एसोसिएटेड विद द मैसेकर ऑफ इनन्यूमरल people, means they killed thousands of people. That is why they don't want to be called as Mongols people. Okay, but they like to be called as Timurs, as means that of their father's side they wanted to be called. Okay, that is why the Mughals were proud of their Timurid ancestry, not least of all because their great ancestors had captured Delhi in 1398. They celebrated their genealogy pictorially, each ruler getting a picture made of Timur and himself. Got it? Okay, so this was all about the descendants of the Mughals. सो अगर हम बात करें अब मुगल्स मिलिट्री कैंपेन्स या मुगल्स का स्टार्टअप हुआ कहाँ से, सो इट वाज बाबर who was born leader and an experienced military general, and his original name was Zahiruddin Muhammad. Okay, so if we talk about, he ruled from 1526 to 1530 CE. He succeeded to the throne of Fargana when he was only 12 years old. He was forced to leave his ancestral throne due to invasion of another Mongol groups, the Uzbeks. मतलब उज़्बेक्स के आने से इनको वहाँ से निकाल दिया गया था. Okay, then after years of wandering he seized Kabul in 1504. Got it? Then in 1526 what happened? He defeated the Sultan of Delhi Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat in the first battle of Panipat and captured Delhi and Agra, and then this way he founded the Mughal Empire. He established the Mughal Empire and Mughal rule started up. Okay, so this was all about the Babur who came and established the Mughal Empire. So अगर हम बात करें अगर फैमिली ट्री की, मुगल्स फैमिली ट्री की, देन यू कैन सी तिमुर्स वर रूलिंग, मीन्स तिमुर्स वर रूलिंग. उसके बाद देन मिरन शाह, प्रिंस सुल्तान मोहम्मद, देन अबू सईद, देन प्रिंस, एंड देन उसके बाद बाबर आए थे एंड फाउंडेड द मुगल डायनेस्टी ऑफ इंडिया. और उसके बाद फिर बाबर के बाद हुमायूं, अकबर, जहांगीर, शाहजहां, औरंगजेब ये सब रूल करने लगे थे. ओके, now let us know more about the Mughal rulers, that is the Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb. We'll know more about these rulers. अगर हम बाबर की बात करें तो बाबर was the founder of the Mughal dynasty, as Babar has lost his father when he was 11 years old, and at that tender age he became the ruler of the small principality Fargana in Central Asia, which he had inherited from his father. So Due to his courage and determination, we can say after some time he became the ruler of Kabul, and Babur became the emperor of Hindustan, and then he established the Mughal dynasty. After when he established it, when he defeated Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat in 1526. Okay, so after the battle of Panipat, Babur fought three more battles also, like battle of Khanwa. He fought it was fought between Babur and Rana Sanga of Mewar at Khanwa. Then battle of Chanderi was fought between Babur and Medini Rai of Malwa. Then battle of Ghagra was done when it was between Bihar and Bengal. Okay, then Babur's reign ended with his death in 1530. Now, if we talk about the next ruler, that is Humayun, he ruled from 1530 to 1540 and 1555 to 1556. Okay, now if we know more about Humayun, we will see after Babur's death in 1530, his son Humayun became the second Mughal emperor, and his original name was Nasir Uddin Muhammad. Got it? Humayun's sister Gulbadan wrote Humayun's biography called Humayun Nama. Humayun divided his inheritance according to the will of his father. Then his brother were each given a province. And then what happened? The ambition of his brother Mirza Kamran weakened Humayun's cause against Afghan competitors. Then Sher Shah Suri defeated Humayun at Chausa in 1539 and Kannauj 1540, forcing him to flee to Iran. Means this Sher Khan was not liking Humayun to live over there, and he wanted him to flee to Iran. Got it? Then in Iran, Humayun received help from the Safavid Shah named person. He captured Delhi in 1555 with his help, but died the next year after an accident in this building. So this is all about Humayun, who ruled from 1530 to 1540 and then again from 1555 to 1556. Okay, now if we talk about Akbar, next ruler Akbar, the Akbar the Great. So here he ruled from 1556 to 1605. He was 13 years old when he became emperor, and his reign can be divided into three periods. Means his reign was 1556 to 1570, then 1570 to 1585, and then 1585 to 1605. It was all broken into three pieces, three parts. Talk about in 1556 to 1570, he became independent of the regent Bahram Khan, and there he launched the military campaign against Suris, Afghans and other kingdoms. Okay, then what happened in 1570, military campaigns in Gujarat were followed by him by campaigns in the east in Bihar and Bengal and Orissa, and these campaigns were complicated by 1579 to 1580 revolt in support of Mirza Hakim. Okay, then if we talk about 1585 to 1605, expansions of Akbar empires started up. Means okay, so campaigns were launched in the northeast. Kandahar was seized from the Safavids, Kashmir was annexed, and also Kabul after the death of Mirza Hakim. So we'll be talking about Akbar's policies afterwards. Just now let us know little bit only. Now if we talk about Jahangir, so Jahangir campaign started by Akbar continued. The Sisodian rulers of Mewar, Amar Singh, accepted Mughal services. Less successful campaigns against the Sikh, the Ahoms and Ahmednagar followed. Okay, means after Akbar, Jahangir ruled. Jahangir's original name was Salim and became emperor in 1605. His original name was Nur Uddin Salim. Okay, he continued the military campaign started by Akbar and Akbar's policy of winning over Rajputs and all. Okay, Jahangir, like Akbar, showed religious tolerance also. Got it? Now another setback was the loss of Kandahar to the Persians. As a result, the Mughals lost control over the trade routes to Afghanistan, Persia and Central Asia. And then as Jahangir's health failed, his wife Noor Jahan increased her influence in the court, and she retired from court life after Jahangir's death in 1625. So this was all about the Mughal ruler Jahangir. Now next if we talk about, this is Shah Jahan, who ruled from 1627 to 1658. Then after Jahangir, Shah Jahan took the control of the Mughal Empire and continued Mughal campaign in the Deccan part. His original name was Shahabuddin Muhammad Khurram. Okay, then if there was economic prosperity during Shah Jahan's reign, trade expanded, especially after the arrival of European traders. Industry also flourished, but Shah Jahan defeated the Portuguese who were misusing the trading rights, and there only during his reign the English trade in India expanded. Shah Jahan suppressed many rebellions that broke out during the early years of his campaign. Then in the Deccan, he conquered Ahmednagar, Bijapur, Golconda, accepted his overlordship, and however his unsuccessful wars in Central Asia caused a heavy loss of men and money. Okay, so this was about Shah Jahan. Next, if we see, the last ruler was Aurangzeb. अब अगर हम औरंगजेब की बात करें तो शाहजहां's third son was Aurangzeb and ascended the throne in 1658 after imprisoning his father in the Agra fort, and his original name was Muinuddin Muhammad. Aurangzeb was suspicious and unfriendly by nature, means बाकी लोगों की तरह Aurangzeb was somewhat different. He was unfriendly by nature to the people of the Mughal Empire and the staffs and all. There, Aurangzeb attacked many rulers and did not try to maintain friendly relations with other rulers like Marathas and Bengal and most of the kingdoms. Okay, so in the last year of his reign, Aurangzeb's officials were like puppets or strings. Means वो सबको अपने इशारों पे काम कराते थे. Okay, Aurangzeb supervised every department regularly, but despite this he was unable to control the increase in the power of his Jagirdar, and this resulted in peasant suffering and they rebelled. Means he was, we can easily call that he was not a good ruler in the Mughal Empire. After Aurangzeb, no successful ruler came, and then Mughal Empire after Aurangzeb started declining. Okay, so we had seen here today about the descendants and the starting up of the Mughal rulers, about the early Mughal rulers like Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. We had talked about these Mughal rulers in detail, and you can go through the LR and NCERT book pages again at home. Okay, now then we had seen, okay, now in the next session we'll be talking about furthermore topics of this chapter, that is Mughal traditions of succession. In that we'll see what method is being followed by Mughals, then we'll see relations of Mughals with other rulers, then Mansabdars and Jagirdars. Okay, so go through the books given to you all. Okay, thank you.